These are all the countries competing for the FIFA World Cup, and these are the logos on their shirts. 2 brands dominate the football world, maybe 3. Rewind to 1994, the last time the Men's World Cup was in the US, and this map looked much different. Adidas owned the game, and Nike wasn't even on the map. But since then, Nike and Adidas have been fighting over the most valuable real estate in sports marketing, the shirts and boots at the biggest tournament on the planet. Because around 6 billion people watch the players sprint, slide, and occasionally headbutt each other on live television. In this video, we're going to break down all of it: the teams, the players, the politics, and the best storylines. Welcome to Athletic Interest and the Battle of the Brands. This video is sponsored by Shopify. 2026 is a World Cup of many firsts. More teams, more games, and the battle between Adidas and Nike looks like a 3-headed monster because Puma seems to be back. It's also a World Cup of many lasts: Ronaldo and Nike, Messi and Adidas, Neymar and Puma. 3 of the most marketable athletes ever, all likely playing their last World Cup. But the biggest goodbye is Germany, playing their final World Cup in the 3 stripes. Adidas was born in Bavaria and defined German football for 70 years. But moving forward, they'll be wearing Nike in exchange for a check worth twice as much. It's a hint that the stakes are higher than ever. Nike's stock has fallen by half in 5 years. Even their runners are slower than Adidas now. They desperately need a win on home soil. Adidas wants to crash the party, and Puma is under pressure from a Chinese takeover. But let's start our analysis by looking at the teams. Putting your logo on a national team is the ultimate flex, but it's also a calculated bet on where the eyeballs and the shirt sales land. 4 years ago in Qatar, Nike had the most teams, the most players in their boots, and the most goals scored in them. It was a total win right up until Messi lifted the trophy with Argentina in 3 stripes, and Adidas got the last laugh anyway. 4 years later, 77% of the World Cup teams are wearing Nike, Adidas, or Puma. Adidas is dressing 14 nations, and they seem to have built that lineup around nostalgia. They fit out the defending champions, Argentina, host Mexico, and the current European champions, Spain. They also put most of their other teams in throwback designs inspired by each nation's history, landscapes, culture, and past kits. What really sums up Adidas' approach is the range. The same 3 stripes that sit on the defending world champions also features on Curacao, a Caribbean island playing its first World Cup and going down as the smallest country ever to get there. Nike took the opposite approach. They're in this fight with 12 federations and built their roster around the biggest commercial markets. 2 host countries, the US and Canada, are wearing the swoosh. So is 5-time world champion Brazil, which is the original deal that pulled Nike into football in the first place, all the way back in 1996. They signed the reigning World Cup champion to a $200 million contract, the biggest federation deal in football at the time. We actually made a whole video on how that deal put Nike on the footballing map. England and France, 2 massive football markets, are part of Nike's portfolio too. That leaves us with the Leaping Cat, the newest member of the Big 3. Puma has been on a steady rise, going from 4 teams in Russia to 6 in Qatar to 11 this year. They've landed a giant of their own in Portugal, instigating the team's divorce from Nike after 27 years together. They also have a traditionally strong presence in Africa, plus a trio of Central European underdogs. That leaves just 11 teams for everyone else, split between smaller brands, with nearly all of them dressing a single nation. But whether you are a sportswear giant or a small startup, you've got to start somewhere. Nike began by selling running shoes out of the trunk of a car. Adidas started in a small German town. And if you invent the next great football boot, one that's faster, lighter, and claims to actually make players better, you'll need somewhere to sell it. Because if that thing actually works, you might just have your first customer. And that's where the sponsor of today's video, Shopify, comes in. Shopify lets you build a store, accept payments, manage inventory, and ship products without needing a team of developers. So if you're selling football shoes, launching a sportswear brand, or finally want to bring your business idea to life, Shopify gives you the tools to do exactly that. Oh, and no other than Ronaldo and Messi use it to power their merch in retail stores. And the 2 goats can't be wrong, right? And once your boot takes off, you can use Shopify Point of Sale to sell it out of a pop-up stand outside the stadium. Just as easy as it works online. Go check out shopify.com/athleticinterest or the link in the description. And now, let's get back to the video. While kit deals give brands an entire national team, boot sponsorships are much more targeted. Adidas, Nike, and Puma each build their own lineup, star by star, country by country. To show you how close the race for the most expensive feet really is, we pulled the data on every confirmed player from the top 10 FIFA ranked teams. Adidas leads with 43%, Nike is right behind, and Puma trailing with 11%. That leaves about 5% for everyone else. Some squads lean almost entirely one way. 16 of Argentina's 26 players wear Adidas, Messi included, and Spain is close behind. Nike's stronghold is Belgium, the most swoosh-heavy squad in the top 10, ahead of Brazil and Portugal. England has the most diverse boot room of anyone, 6 brands across one squad, with 5 players outside the big 3, including captain and former Golden Boot winner Harry Kane in a boot by a brand known for comfortable walking shoes. He's a great example of the power of boot sponsorships. You don't have to sponsor a whole team to sponsor a potential top scorer, and that's the kind of recognition a smaller brand can realistically get its name on. Unlike the shirt, which belongs to the federation with its colors and crest locked in for years, the boot is the brand's own product. It's a piece of equipment and a fashion item at the same time. The color is actually super important for the brands. You want to stand out as much as possible from the competition and be visible on television. Ironically, Nike and Adidas landed on nearly identical colorways. Puma threw in some orange but ran with the same idea. Either way, the most expensive feet at the tournament are about to look like one pink blur on your screen. But Adidas has one more advantage Nike can't touch: the Trianda. Adidas has supplied every World Cup ball since 1970, so while Nike pays Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Haaland millions to wear its boots, those boots are kicking an Adidas ball every time. Nike isn't a FIFA sponsor either, so they legally can't show the Trianda, the trophy, or any official tournament branding in their marketing. But which logos end up on which jerseys or feet is half the fight. The other one is what's happening off the pitch. This is the first men's World Cup on home soil for Nike, and somehow they're the underdog. Their stock is down more than 50% in 5 years, and Nike's going into a home tournament with everything to prove. Adidas has seemingly been heading into the opposite direction. A new CEO in 2023, $1 billion of dead Yeezy stock to clear out, and somehow the arrows have been pointing up. Both brands walk into this summer with something to settle, and they go about it in different ways. Usually, the big emotional World Cup film is Nike's whole thing, but this year, Adidas moved first with a cinematic piece of its own. Zidane, Messi, and Lamine Yamal, past, present, and future legends of the game. The message is hard to miss. Adidas wants to own football the way Nike pretends to own basketball. They want to be the original. Casting Chalamet was a smart move too. He's about as central to pop culture as it gets right now, and a real fan who grew up playing. So the film reaches way past football into fashion, film, and people who'd skip a boot ad. Everybody said Nike was cooked, and for weeks it was hard to tell what they were actually doing. Until they ripped the script, literally, with a film that brought together football, music, fashion, and Hollywood all on one set. It feels like a mix of a reality show and parody of a format they created themselves: epic World Cup commercials. One expert called the concept death by 1,000 cuts. Because in contrast to one big cinematic statement from Adidas, the Nike campaign includes dozens of videos all based on one longer piece, all very memeable. Before trying to crown a winner, here are some honorable mentions. Lego put Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Vinny Jr. around one table to build a Lego World Cup trophy. The ad hit 314 million views across their Instagram accounts in a single day. We particularly like this hashtag. This video, or voice, is not AI either, by the way, in case some of you are still wondering. And then there's Levi's. FIFA forced them to cover up their own stadium logo because they're not an official sponsor, so Levi's leaned all the way in, changed the profile picture to the covered-up logo, and got more attention for hiding their name than most brands get for showing it. So, who actually won the battle of the brands? Pure numbers point to Adidas, at least halfway into the tournament. More teams, more momentum, and the better stock chart right now. But Nike isn't out. Both brands already sold out kits before a single ball was kicked. One thing is for sure, like all of us, the Nike and Adidas executives will unite with the rest of the planet around its ultimate game to see if their brand wins when the world is watching.